People rarely tell you when they stop taking you seriously. There is no argument, no confrontation, no dramatic ending you can point to and say, "That's when it happened." There is no warning. Something simply shifts. Their tone changes in ways you cannot quite explain. Their attention shortens. They interrupt you more often. They respond with less care. Your words carry less weight than they once did, and you are left replaying conversations in your mind, wondering what you said differently, or whether you imagined the change at all. Stoicism teaches that loss of respect is almost never loud. It is quiet, gradual, and invisible to the person it is happening to. The uncomfortable truth is this: people do not stop taking you seriously because of one big mistake, not because of one bad day, one awkward moment, or one failed attempt. They stop because of small behaviors repeated under pressure, patterns that reveal how you handle uncertainty, tension, and resistance. Not what you say when things are easy, but how you carry yourself when something is questioned, challenged, or unclear. Respect is not built through performance. It is built through composure, especially when there is something at stake. One of the fastest ways people lose respect without realizing it is over-explaining. You justify every decision before anyone asks. You add context no one requested. You clarify long after your point was already understood. You circle back. You soften. You fill the silence. It feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels like you are being thorough, but what it actually communicates is doubt. When you explain too much, you send a signal that your position cannot stand on its own, that it needs reinforcement. Authority does not expand with words. It condenses. People with presence speak and stop. They allow space to exist after their words. That space does something important. It forces others to sit with what was said. Over-explaining removes that pressure. It rushes to comfort. It rushes to be liked. And the more you rush, the less weight your words carry. The Stoics understood this deeply. They warned against exhausting yourself trying to be understood by everyone. A decision stated clearly does not require defense. A boundary does not require persuasion. Say what is necessary, then stop. Silence after clarity is not awkward. It is powerful. It signals that you trust your own judgment enough to let it stand without protection. Another reason people stop taking you seriously is emotional immediacy. You react too fast. Someone challenges you and you respond instantly. A comment irritates you and you correct it on the spot. A situation feels uncomfortable and you rush to resolve it. You think speed shows confidence. You think decisiveness means immediacy. In reality, it shows reactivity. The person who pauses controls the frame. The person who reacts hands it over. When you respond too quickly, you reveal that your emotions are leading the interaction. Even if your words are correct, the timing weakens them. Stoicism teaches that mastery is not about suppressing emotion. It is about not being ruled by it. The mind that waits is the mind that commands. When you slow down your response, something subtle happens. You force others to sit with their own words. You introduce gravity into the interaction. You signal that you are not easily moved. Calm always carries more authority than urgency. Always. Halfway pause. If this way of thinking resonates with you, consider subscribing. Not for motivation, not for hype, but for discipline. This channel is about building a mind that stays steady when situations try to pull you off balance. Another quiet respect killer is constant availability. You respond immediately to every message. You rearrange your time to match other people's urgency. You make yourself endlessly accessible. It feels generous. It feels cooperative. It feels polite. But it trains people to see your time as weightless. And when your time has no weight, neither do your words. Scarcity creates value. This is not manipulation. It is human perception. When you choose where to place your attention, people pay closer attention in return. Presence without boundaries erodes respect. Availability without selectivity dissolves authority. The Stoics were not busy proving their usefulness. They were selective. They understood that attention is finite and therefore valuable. When you begin choosing where to place yours, people begin measuring their words around you, not because you demand it, not because you intimidate them, but because your time signals importance. People also stop taking you seriously when you seek validation for your standards. You look for agreement before holding a line. You soften your convictions so they land better. You phrase boundaries as questions. You wait for approval before standing firm. But conviction that requires permission is not conviction, it is negotiation. Stoicism teaches that integrity is internal. Your standards are not a debate. They are not something you crowdsource. You do not need consensus to be consistent. The more you seek reassurance for your principles, the more fragile they appear. There is also the habit of self-correction in public. You undermine your own statements before anyone challenges them. You walk back your words mid-sentence. You laugh at your own position to appear humble or agreeable. You think this makes you approachable. What people actually hear is uncertainty. Humility does not require self-erosion. You can be grounded without shrinking. Another subtle behavior is explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to listen. This one feels virtuous. You want to be fair. You want to be understood. You want to clear the air. But respect is not won by convincing the unwilling. It is maintained by disengaging from fruitless exchanges. Stoicism teaches discernment, when to speak, when to withdraw. Silence, used correctly, is not avoidance. It is selection. Not every misunderstanding deserves correction. Not every challenge deserves response. The ability to walk away calmly is one of the strongest signals of self-command. Final thought. People take you seriously when your presence is consistent, when your words are measured, when your emotions are governed, when your boundaries do not wobble under pressure. You do not need to dominate conversations. You do not need to prove intelligence. You do not need to explain yourself into exhaustion. Calm is not passivity. Restraint is not weakness. They are signals of a mind that cannot be rushed, pulled, or destabilized. And people sense that long before they consciously understand it. If this helped you see something you hadn't noticed before, consider subscribing. Not as a promise to change overnight, but as a commitment to clarity. Because who you become is decided quietly, long before anyone says it out loud.